Hello everybody and welcome to today's Sunday, which today is brought to you from the power station in Didcot. There it is. I've worked out how to spin my phone around while talking on it. That's good, isn't it? Straight into it. Fuel watch. Right, last week's fuel we were looking at Motia 135.67, Express Fuels 143.30, Watson's 135.13, and UK Fuels dropped the price. Originally, they kept with the price of 2 weeks ago, 135.51. So you should have been looking at the and what's my man, the white man van, had Watson's 138.85. They keep trying it on with him. I don't know why. Silvery Fuels 135.89 and Tate at 137.47. Should have been round about 135 last week. This week, I think I did have an email to say the uncertainty looks like it's going to go up again. So hopefully, I know you won't get this till Sunday. Hopefully, if you will have filled up. If not, never mind. Right. Oh, and Mickey B has got fuel this week, 137.53. So it should be 135 this week, guys. Week gone, week coming. As always, we'll be down in the comments. Have a look there. Yeah, so I'm at Didcot. And I am with the El Gecko mob again, which I did the ferrying job from Luton. You know, certain jobs, you know, not to book a job afterwards. It's like, because I know how these jobs go. And I'm over in Didcot, and it's like, right, I've rocked up at the power station. You had induction? Oh, no induction. He said, no, you don't need an induction. You had delivery. You can go in and out. Yeah. Who are you meeting? I'm meeting the fitters. Oh, and they're going, where are we going to get away without an induction? They're going to let us in, and then hopefully we'll unload it, and while we unload it, we'll start fit. I thought, you ain't going to get away with that, son. But I don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I'll see. I've been sitting here for half hour so far. It's what it is, but it's bank holiday weekend. I'm going to drive myself mad. Hopefully, I'm either going to get this one and then get a job going back, or maybe a pick up for Tuesday morning, or if it rolls on till the end of the day, I'll get day rate and worry about Tuesday on Tuesday. So there we go. So this week, what have we got? This week's big one was on Trusted. Yeah. We all know Trusted, and we all maybe don't find it as straightforward as it could be. Maybe you've had a bit of grief with it. I've had a bit of grief with it in the past. The main one was the setup. When it wants to know, you know, show us a picture of your vehicle. You haven't bought it yet. But once you've done all that, you're, you know, you might have to do 4 or 5 things to begin with, but then as time rolls on, you only have to do up-to-date one. Update your driving licence, update your passport, or update your insurance certificates, which means you've got to do 3 certificates. Your goods in transit, your motor insurance, and public liability. If you've got it, not everyone has it. I recommend you do. But anyway, let's see what you guys can say. Mickey B says, sounds like a nightmare. It is what it is. It's trusted. Jacku8 said, I have to do mine next year. Now it'll come around quick. They always does. It's like your CPC training. I've got 5 years. I've got no years. When did that happen? Time goes fast. Gareth Coombs says, always the same, even when you have still too long. Did on Monday for Friday, and then Friday they won't work weekends. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's sort of, yeah. So you can't do it the Monday to Friday, and you know you try and get because you're working, and then you try to do it at the weekend, and then there's no one there to talk to. It's like, but I'm working, so when am I supposed to do this? Maybe that's the case. You got to make time. Got to make time. Godzilla, and I'm fair. Right, we'll come to this in a minute. Godzilla says, at times you need a 12-year-old in your life. Done in moments when put in front of the sarcastic fetus. Yeah, I've got a 28-year-old and a 30-odd-year-old son-in-law. I tend to go, how do I do this? Although, now we live in the world of AI, you ask Gemini or ChatGPT, and they come up with very comprehensive answers, so they're kind of cool. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, dead handy though, to keep him young, as is young Eli. Mark Smith says, my heart sinks every time for a doc update on Trusted. Everything you have said and more. It can work. I mean, like I say, when I tried to do mine, I tried 3 or 4 times. Didn't want to know. And then the actual day it was due to expire, I was at home. I'd done it, and the whole thing went through smoothly. Now, it might have something to do with the fact that they've done the changeover. They've got the new app. Seems to be a lot of changes coming at the CX. We'll come on to that one in a minute. But, yeah, I don't know. So I got lucky in the end. But it took me 4 or 5 goes to get lucky. So at least I got it done in time. That's the main thing. Ivan Spencer said, had same last year. The CX wouldn't update my info. No fault of my own. He said the problem was at their end. But he said I had to send off the new driver's license. A trusted wouldn't recommend mine. Cut a long story short, 5 weeks it took for them to sort the problem out. He said, I was lucky I had other work, otherwise I'd have gone bust. He said, CX weren't working. He kept trying to upload his documents. They wouldn't take the documents, and then he had to send his licence off. And what happens if you send your driving licence off and then you get stopped? As an HGV driver, we've got to have them. You go, well, I've had to send it off. You know, I think what you do, what I would do is I'd take a photo of both sides and go, look, and here's the thing, and explain to them. Most people are reasonable. Dale Steele said, I'm having the same nightmare with Companies House. Directors have to verify and it won't accept me. See, this is the thing. It's not just trusted. It's very much computer says no. It's the world that we live in right now where things are all easy and you don't need to speak to a human being. You can speak to an AI chatbot who just keeps you going round and round and round in circles on the same questions, and it's very frustrating. Or you do speak to a computer and you go, well, I need to do this, and they go, there's no button on my screen that lets me do that. So, yeah, it's what it is. It's not just trusted, it's the world. Niall Wilson says, why not stick a QR code to the... now, this is more to do with that... what do we say about the pass? You know, we did the pass thing about 2 weeks ago, or it might have been last week, where you actually now you get a verification pass come through on the CX. Why not stick a QR code to pad it when they arrive? Scan the QR code. If it goes green or amber... it goes green, okay, amber, contact office. If red, do not release code. It's not to do with the load. It's to do with the person collecting the load. Now, my mate Lee turned around and he said he's had the problem with Trusted. And he said the problem he has is when you upload, he won't let him upload the documents until they're due. He said, I like to do mine way ahead of time, but it's like, no, it's not due yet. And so then when you come to upload a document, if it won't take it, it's now your documents are out of date. So I've had my new insurance documents for like a month now, but I've been trying to upload it and you wouldn't let me. He said what he does is send a support ticket and go, look, I've got my new documents, I'm trying to upload it, it won't let me upload it. And you do get a grace period, which is if it don't work, but you've got, particularly if you've got a paper trail, say, well, I've been trying to comply. It's not my fault I can't comply because your system won't let me. They normally go, well, yeah, okay, just keep going until you get it right, like, you know. So, but I did, and he also said, I think Trusted is AI, so I've never actually spoke to anyone. Well, I have. And it was to do with, you know, a lady from the CX, because I make these videos, I'm kind of known, called Fiona, phoned me, and she wanted to talk me through the whole of this load pass thing that's coming in. And I said, brilliant, fantastic, Fiona, lovely, thanks for explaining all of that. I'll get that information out to the guys because a couple of changes coming in. They're sort of doing a soft start at the moment, but it is going to become a thing. And I said, just send me an email with what we've just spoke about and what you need me to sort of get across, which promptly hasn't come. But if it doesn't come within it, I've got to do one next week. But if for my own personal sake, the book is out. Remember, I'm going to do one on the book. I may as well do one on the book. It took me 3 months to write it. 13 people have bought it, so that's good. But that's probably good because a lot of you don't even know it's there. So I should do a video and put it on the other channels as well, Facebook and stuff, for people that know me from school that might want to read it. If not, doesn't matter. If it doesn't say, I don't care. I didn't write it for that reason. But I'll do that this week, and then next week I'll try and do one which explains better of my understanding is of how this load pass thing is going to go. Fiona, if you're watching, and I doubt you are, but if you are, if you want to send me that email, so at least I don't get, otherwise it'll be, yeah, see, you put the video out, but you've got a few things wrong. That's because I forgot what we said because I was driving and I'm on the hands-free. I can't write anything down, and as a result of which I can't remember what I was supposed to say. Anywho, that's it for Trusted this week. The Wise Guys. I am going to put myself in a Wise Guys here. And which, I mean, I've been doing this for nearly 10 years, well, 8 years now. So I've kind of got an idea of what's going on. I got this from Elliot Merkins. He says, "Hi Pete, I've just discovered you on YouTube." He's very pleased with the channel. "I'm a 27-year-old that lives in Leeds. I've been driving Arctics for the past 4 years, and I'm at the point now where I'm ready to start my own. I'm also ADR trained. I'm looking to get an O licence and get the ball rolling. My mate has a farm that I'll be able to store it. However, I'm stuck on whether to start getting a unit with a trailer or just a rigid. I'm also a Renault fan. I've been driving both Class 1 and Class 2, and I know them inside out. I know you're a DAF guy, so I take it on board what you have to say. He's got 20k, hopefully get me started. Any advice would be greatly appreciated." Right, I would say, I did ping him, go rigid, not tractor. Although tractor units, you can get a better tractor unit cheaper than you can a rigid sometimes, but you've got to do the rigid, you've got to do the tractor and the trailer. So you've got two things to buy there, 2 sets of servicing, 2 sets of inspections, and you don't get that much more money from a Class 1 for a tractor unit than you like with a trailer than you do for a rigid, but it can take you double time to unload. So if you're in with a full chute and you've got 26 pallets on board and you're back onto a bay at Waitrose, you could be there for 3-4 hours, for which you might get an extra 150 quid. If you're in a rigid, you can only, if you get an 18 ton, you can only take 14 pallets. So that might be 12, might be 10. They tend to put less on rigids. You'll get unloaded quicker, you'll be out quicker, you won't get the waiting time, but you'll get a second job. Also, you've only got to buy one motor. You've got 20k. I would say do what you can to try. If you want to buy a Renault, buy a Renault. But I would also say look for the right. Try and keep an open mind. Look for the right truck. If it turns out there's one out there and it's got a nice long bed and it's a sleeper cab and it's got low mileage and it's cheap, it's not far from you, but it's a man, you might go, "Oh, give a man a go." They're all like, you're as much likely to get a dog that's a Renault or a DAF or a Mercedes or a man than you are not. They're all pretty much for muchness. They make all of these manufacturers make trucks, and some of them are good and some of them are bad. And it might be depending on the way it rolled off the production line. It might be to do with the way it was treated. You just don't know. So you just do the best you can with the information you got at the time and hopefully got the right one. And then I would try and save as much money back as you can, because when you start running, presumably, unless you get a factoring company, you're going to end... Oh, no, you can actually factor through the CX now, which is a big boon, actually, for you. Some of the jobs you might go, "I need a bit of cash." It's not cheap. It's like 20% and it really hurts. But if you need the money, if you've got fuel coming out, you need the money, you take it. And then, all I try and do is factor as few jobs as possible. I try and do a streak. I think I recently done a 12 or 13 streak, and then I thought I better do a couple now, because I've only just done my factoring company. I'm only just out of it. But that's what I would do. I would find a rigid 18 ton, maybe 26. If the right lorry comes up for the right money, get your O licence first. Obviously, there is a video which will show you how to go through all that. It's 2 or 3 on here. Like one on how to get your O licence, one on mistakes that I made that I wouldn't make again, but that will help you get everything in place, get your ducks in a row, get your motor, get started. Any other questions? If you want to, if any other questions, just leave them here. I will get back to you, but I hope that helps. And miscellaneous this week, we haven't got much. Paulie Anson says, he said, "Oh, is this to do with I had the XCO, what do you call it? Truck sat nav." He says you need to put a space in between the postcodes, and then it will get your destination right away. To be honest with you, I stopped using the Mickey Mouse truck sat nav a long time ago. In fact, I stopped using truck sat navs a long time ago. I did do a video on this one as well, and this was to do with how to use Waze as a truck sat nav. And what you learn after a while is how to think in blocks. So you've got to have a block here. Like, for example, if you want to get from Aylesbury to Milton Keynes, it's like this. And there's a load of windy roads in between. It will take you through Horsham or Little Horsham, or you can actually go through Swanbourne. That's doable. Or you go up the A137 or something like that, Wallop, right away at the top, and then the A421 or 428 along the top. So rather than going, "Oh no, there's not, I can't get round, oh no, there's a tight bend," you just go up and along. And okay, it might be another 10 minutes and it might be another 10 miles, but it's easy. A-roads, you look for the A-roads and you follow the blocks until you can get as close as possible. You can do it on a map to your destination point, and then you wind your way in through there. That's what I do. And the final one is Tobias, who says RIPCX. Tobias, it's not on its way out, is it? If anything, they're expanding. They've gone, they're doing this and they're doing that. It's a bit like Amazon. Or, it's a monopoly. If you want to find a backload, it's their way, or you can use the other backload sites. They don't really work. So, but that's my take on it anyway. So that's this week. It's the bank holiday weekend. I don't know if the sun's coming. I think it's about to disappear in it. But I hope you enjoy the sunshine. I've now been sitting here for... we're coming up on 40 minutes. And I haven't even... And no, not even a sign of getting through the gate. But I've done my Q&A. I'll get this off and then go home. Maybe get another job. Maybe I'll have the opportunity for a little bit more taking care, taking money.